Yeah. We're going to go ahead and get started, man. Welcome to Offsides Podcast. What's up, Pete? What's up? James, what's going on? How y'all guys doing?
Beautiful day, man. Beautiful day.
Yeah, it looks nice out there. Your son coming in the room, Pete. I'm jealous, bro. I need to get my room set up. I can take this green screen down. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, Pete?
Good, man. I'm good. Like you said, finally some consistent, nice weather, so
Yeah.
can't complain.
I know it's been hot down in Jacksonville because I know it's hot up here in VA. So
Woo!
I know the devil playing outside with y'all right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, man. God dang.
Look, man, so let's just get right into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to kind of put this together in a way I want to. And this is a topic I've been talking about the last couple of weeks, and quarterbacks getting paid. So I just want to get this out the way.
Yes, sir.
Trevor Lawrence just signed an extension. What was it? $247 million, $200 million guaranteed. Let me see. I got it here. Yeah, 275 million, 5-year extension, 275 million extension that includes 200 million guaranteed, 142 million at signing, and then they pay him $55 million average salary, which is right there tied with Joe Burrow. I'm gonna start with James. James, what's your thoughts on that, man? What's your thoughts on it?
I honestly think this strategic now around the league, man. You gotta lock in with so many. We talked about this loyalty thing a little while ago on a few of the podcasts where that loyalty has to be tied to some type of money now. It got to be. So if I can lock you in with some cash, at least if I decide to trade you or something, that's at my discretion, not with you leaving whenever you want, or if you feel like you're getting slighted and you're not getting it back. So you're going to start seeing it. And like we just saw it, wide receivers going to start getting paid. Key pieces of that offense or key pieces of your team going to get that bag now. I think he's a loyal dude to that organization, man. I think he deserved it. And I think they just playing a long game. Like, look, I got to lock in something that's solid right now instead of playing a waiting game. I think we're going to see that.
All right. Pete, what about you?
Does he deserve it? It's what has he done, really? I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that he doesn't deserve it, but like it's the position that he plays. All these guys, look, if Daniel Jones got paid, all these quarterbacks are gonna get paid because they're all gonna measure themselves against him.
Yep.
And it's like a doctor. Even if you're a shitty doctor, you're still a doctor. You know what I'm saying? You're a quarterback. You're a shitty quarterback. You're still a quarterback. Those are the highest paid dudes on the team, and they're always going to get paid. Tua's going to get paid. I think he's the next in line. So it's what it is, man.
So I got a problem with it. And I've talked about this. These guys haven't won anything. If you look at, I put in the chat, I think, from Twitter, I think you put sheesh on it, right? Trevor Lawrence, 55 mil. Joe Burrow, 55 mil. Goff, 53. Justin Herbert, 52.5 mil. Lamar, 52 mil. And Jalen Hurts, 51 mil a year. Out of those quarterbacks, only 3 have been to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Burrow took a team that was in last place one year. I think 2 years later, he got him in the Super Bowl because he got injured his rookie season. Jalen took the Eagles, and then, hell, Justin Goff took the Rams and could have went back with the Lions if the coach would have just coached better. You know what I'm saying? So at least they've been to the Super Bowl. At least they have a winning record in the playoffs. This dude only won one playoff game. His numbers are on track with Daniel Jones. Funny you mentioned him. My boy Mac Jones, who's backing him up now. His numbers ain't that great. He's not, in my opinion, he's not top 10 in the league as a quarterback. You got too many way better quarterbacks. I think it's too much. I think you overpaid for somebody that, in my opinion, you don't really have much confidence in. Because if you did, you would never brought Mac Jones in. You would never got another person that was drafted in his draft class. I think he's the only quarterback left on his team that was drafted in that draft class.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's more because of, well, we ain't got nothing else to do. We don't really have it. You know, Nikki from Play Call, we need a number 1 wide receiver. They had Christian Kirk. They had Cousins. Christian Kirk. Yeah. They had people. They had They got Ingram went down there, was playing great as a tight end. You know what I'm saying? You got ETN. You got a solid defense in a sense. This is a team that just 7 years ago was in the AFC Championship against the Patriots with Blake Bortles. You know what I'm saying? And here comes this guy to college that they were changing the rules, that never lost a game until he got to the NFL, according to his stats. Not even in Pee Wee, Pop Warner, middle school, high school, college, never lost a game. This dude was undefeated. Even in Madden, he never lost a game until he got to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? But he can't even get y'all over the hump.
But I think Pete talked about it before, and I think we talked about it as a topic, right? We're switching from the era of sports competitive, to entertainment. As long as you can fill seats and get, you know what I'm saying, keep ticket holders buying tickets and coming, they're gonna drop a bag, man. Because the reality is they may never win a Super Bowl anytime soon. Man. You still gotta make some money.
Yeah.
He's a nice face for the franchise, pretty boy. We gotta sell some tickets, dog.
And look at Dan Marino.
Look at Dan Marino.
I'm sorry, James, but go ahead.
Now look at Dan Marino, right? He was loyal to the franchise. He stayed all those years. They never won anything. But he was worth the money, though. He was still worth the cash. Even though he didn't get it back in that era because it was more a sports, feel to it. Now it's entertainment. We got NIL, we got all of this other craziness that drives sports these days. And our owners, they're not thinking about W's no more. They like, hey, as long as my plus minus in revenue is good to go, let's bring my man's back. Look it.
Yeah, I see. I just don't agree with it. What, Pete? What's up? What you was gonna say?
Yeah, he may not be a winner, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's only one team, one quarterback can win a year. But that team, the Jaguars, they don't have to worry about their quarterback situation. So that's what they're paying for. Like, even though he may not be the best in the league, he may not have 5-6 playoff wins, but we don't have to worry about that position. So we'll pay it for 5 years, and then if it don't pan out, at least we got something that's better than a lot of other teams. A lot of other teams would love to have Jacksonville's situation at quarterback.
Yeah.
The Raiders would love to have him. Maybe we said their numbers are comparable. Who knows if the Giants would like to have Trevor Lawrence? You know what I mean? There's teams that would like to have Trevor Lawrence. So it's the position, bro. It's the position. Yeah, a lot of them don't deserve the money. It's way too much compared on what they've done, but it's the it's the position that you have to have right.
And I think it's like James said, it's how we look at it. The era we came up in is very different in sports and getting paid than it is today. You know what I'm saying? And we've recorded this, James, recently. What are we paying these quarterbacks based on? If it's not wins, what is it based on? You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. You can promote somebody on the propensity that they're going to get better over time. So you can pay him the money in the hopes that he's going to get better over time. See, I would have waited until next year to pay him, or at least halfway through the season. And I'm going to tell you why. This would have been his, second to third year under Doug Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got another quarterback that their numbers are comparable. That when they faced off as rookies, the Patriots mollywopped them. I think it was like 40-7 or something like that. It was crazy. Me and Bree saw it the other day. So you got that in the back of your head. Like, if this guy comes in and starts, I might lose my job. Doug Peterson's a quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. He's a smart guy. So you have that there. I would have waited to pay him at least halfway through the season. See what he does. If his numbers are better, because last year he was injured. He got injured and still tried to play through it, and I don't think that was a good idea. So I would give him halfway through the season.
But the downside to that, Tua gets paid. Okay, now I want more than Tua.
Yeah.
See, so I get what you're saying, and also, you know what? I may hold out if I don't get a new deal. So it's the holdout, and Tua gets paid. Yeah, I got to get paid more than him. I was the first pick overall.
And I'm quite sure that conversation kind of happened, right? Yeah. What are we willing to give Trevor to not go too high and not go too low? Because like you said, now that's a negotiation point. Everybody's going to be going after the idea or the standard that Jaguars set now. So Tua's going to ask for, I'm quite sure he's going to negotiate that much or more.
Bro, Tua going to get paid. If we doing this based on who got paid the most before And now you bringing up the topic, like the good point of I'm locking in my quarterback for the next 5 years. Well, Tua ain't that bad with the help that he has. You know what I'm saying? So he might come out commanding 56 a year.
Yeah.
My bad.
So nah, it's all good. You know who's getting ready to get paid again? Dak's getting ready to get paid again.
That was my next point.
Yep.
Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
So like they'll say they would have got paid, and he's gonna be like, okay, I gotta be up there with them. So they probably saved themselves some money right now.
Yeah,
even though it's millions of dollars, they probably still save themselves some money.
And we got to look at once again the entertainment side of it, revenue, right? What's Trevor Lawrence jersey sales looking like?
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that merchandise and stuff matters, bro. Trevor Lawrence jersey is selling like it's been selling like crazy. He's a popular kid.
Mm-hmm.
So they looking at a lot of that stuff, man. I'm quite sure those conversations have been had and what they're willing to lose.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I was gonna bring up Dak, but I totally forgot about Jordan Love, who came in and had a phenomenal season, got better as the season went through. I think they were in the divisional round when they lost to when they lost San Francisco. So and beat up on the Cowboys. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's gonna be a discussion. I guess that's the best way to look at it is what I'm saving right now than what's going to cost me later if I waited. I just don't feel like some of these quarterbacks should be demanding anything when you have anything to. There's a difference. Like Lamar Jackson is right behind Patrick Mahomes, I think, in winning percentages. And
two MVPs.
And he got 2 MVPs, one unanimous. You know what I'm saying? That you got to pay that. You know what I'm saying? Burrow went to the Super Bowl with a team that, if they had a better offensive line and could have blocked Aaron Donald, we'd probably be talking a whole nother conversation now, because Jamar Chase was wide open down the sideline. So, and in golf, who went to one against the Patriots, but could have been back this year, and we don't know what that would have looked like against the Chiefs this year. With that team and that mentality. So I mean, it just gets frustrating, man, when you see people like my man Tom took a pay cut all those years to keep.
I'm telling you, man.
You know what I'm saying, to win. That's really what it was to win. And you got Peyton, who even took some pay cuts towards the end of his career. He took the money, but I don't blame him. You got 5 NFL MVPs, 1 Super Bowl. You end up getting a second one. He went and got the bag. But a lot of these cats took pay cuts, man. Just to even Patrick Mahomes signed that big deal, and he's restructured twice since then to bring people in or keep people on the team. And that, and that's the guy winning Super Bowls right now. You know what I'm saying?
But I think in that regard, right, if you're a winning QB, I think you can afford to take those pay cuts, because guess what? Revenue is going to come from somewhere else.
Yeah, endorsement.
Mahomes for a guest spot at some club or something, probably getting some crazy money. So they can afford to do those things. That's why I said Trevor Lawrence, they're going to give him that money because they're getting compensated in some type of way. I'm telling you.
So it goes back to what I've said in the past. I'd rather win the Super Bowls.
Exactly.
Get the endorsement deals.
Exactly.
Okay? The money comes when you start winning. Money's coming. Lamar Jackson, 2 MVPs. Like I said, 1 unanimous. Only 2 players got unanimous votes. Tom Brady and him. So that's going to bring money. That's going to bring money. You know what I'm saying? Like people want him on a commercial, on endorsing. Like I was watching NFL Insider and Brady up there talking about Hurts. That dude is still making money off endorsements right now. You know? He's making more money, I think, now than he did in the NFL. So, but where does that come from? If Brady didn't have the 7 rings, would he be where he's at today? Nah. It's 199. Nobody would have talked about him and be like, whatever.
What they say? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah,
you can't. 7 rings, you can't do nothing with that. Like, it's crazy.
You can't, man. You can't. Well, speaking of winning and extensions, Tomlin got extended with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I don't got the specific numbers, and I really don't care about those. But I want to question. I'm gonna ask Pete first: did he deserve the extension?
Yeah. He's consistent. If anybody is consistent, it's him. And the same thing I said about the quarterback. They paid Lawrence because they don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
They hired him how many years ago, and he's had nothing but winning seasons. He doesn't make the play. We know when he makes the playoffs, they haven't really gone too far. Haven't won a playoff game in a minute. But at least there's some type of consistency there, where they don't have to go and make a mistake on a coach like the Giants did with Joe Judge. You know what I'm saying? That you gotta kind of you lose 2 years and you gotta reset again. So yeah, is he Belichick or Andy Reid? No, but is he consistent? Absolutely. So you want to keep that, especially the guys, they have a good front office, they have a good working relationship with him. They always hit on wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like later in the draft, they draft well. So I would keep all that shit together, even though you're not winning every year, but that coaching and that quarterback position, those are the most important parts of the team. I would definitely keep that together. I would definitely, if I got the coach right, I'm gonna make sure I keep it until he don't want to be there no more.
So okay, so all right, he's a winner. Winning seasons, never had a losing season. He's won with Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett. Who else has been there? All these quarterbacks. He inherited
Roethlisberger.
and Roethlisberger.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers organization's one of two franchises that have 6 Super Bowls. 6. For all intents and purposes, they until the Patriots won 6, they sat atop by themselves. That's an organization that winning is just not enough, though. You know what I'm saying? Having no losing season is just not enough. I don't think the Steelers have won a playoff game in 7 years. 6, 7 years, something like that. The last time they won. So James, your team plays in the North. For a while, the Steelers ran the North. It was you and the Steelers pretty much. The Ravens, I mean. So is winning just enough?
I think when you look at the totality of it, yeah. Like Pete said, only one team is gonna win every year, man. And you just said it. The Steelers got 6. It's playing the time game. It's gonna happen eventually with consistency. And I think that extension was based on his relationship with the front office.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you can trust your coach, when you know he's he's consistent in his coaching, and even when you listen to ex-players talk about Tomlin, they respect him that much as a coach. So I think that extension is just a testament to who he is, just a solid individual. And yeah, for a franchise like that, winning is enough because you're not gonna win 50 Super Bowls. 6, bro. 6 is crazy. It's franchises with 0. So I think they understand that it's a time game, and eventually, I think they're gonna get back. They're gonna get back to winning football, like playoff winning football. But yeah, I one, I like the extension, and 2, that's speaking to what he brings to their front office. Not because sometimes it's not about coaching. It's about keeping your locker room clean. It's about making sure guys understand the ins and outs of off the field. That's a lot. That's a lot of respect to Tomlin on that extension, man. I think he deserved it because, man, he inherited a lot of. Not only did he inherit some good shit, but he inherited some problems too. And,
Yeah,
he kept that tucked in and made sure them guys was good.
I think what got him paid besides was the front office relationship, but also as a person.
Yeah.
I've seen interviews with him on it, and he's a very humble dude, and I like him. But also, you've never heard nothing bad from the players, man.
Yeah.
AB, who said what he said, came back and apologized. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Even Le'Veon Bell came back, was like, man, I still want to be a Steeler.
Yep.
And when Russell went there, I said it. I think Russell will flourish under him because of the type of leader that and like he said on the pivot, I'm a leader of men. And I kind of respect that because a lot of coaches don't do that. I just sometimes go back and I look at the fact, you want to win consistently, yes. But when does just not having a losing season become like it can't be the norm, especially not for an organization that's used to putting up championships. You know what I'm saying? That when you think about it, in that era that Brady was out, you had Peyton, you had Brady, you had Ben, you had Phillip Rivers. Who else was in the AFC? Your team had different quarterbacks. Y'all had Flacco, but that defense really is what carried the team for the most part.
That's a fact.
I can't think of anybody else, man. I mean, the Chiefs really didn't have anybody. The Jets, but they had Chad Pennington and Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, they had Sanchez.
If Pete knows, if you think about it, at that era of football, the AFC was pretty much ran by the Patriots, Colts, Steelers, and the occasional Ravens team that would be for the defense out and knock them out. Because Rivers had the #1 offense and defense and still didn't go nowhere, which was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just different now. You know, I have the expectation, and I like Tomlin. I think if they would let Tomlin go today, coaches would get fired today. Like if the Pittsburgh Steelers say, "Yo, you gone, bro. We want to win more. We want to have more than we want to go deep in the postseason. You're not getting us there. We're gonna let you go." The minute he walks off the building, I guarantee some coaches getting knocked out. Hey, you got to go, bro. you got to go, fam. You got to be out of here. We're gonna get Mike, and we're gonna bring Mike in. So
another reason they could have locked him up. Let's say, what they give him, a 2-year deal, 3-year deal. Let's say next year they don't want to continue the relationship. They can get a draft pick from a team who wants to fucking trade for him.
Yeah.
True.
It is true.
He's an asset. You gotta sign. You don't let him walk out for nothing. You gotta keep him. You gotta keep him. And then, let's say down the line they trade him. They traded for Sean Payton, the Broncos.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, so it could happen.
And that's right. So that's why I was saying sometimes those lock-ins are because at some point I know I can still get something for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like Trevor Lawrence, he's marketable, bro. Paid him all that money,
bro. Look, Mac Jones, somebody will take. To be honest with you. Somebody like Brian Dable will take Mac Jones. Look what he did with Josh Allen, minimize his turnovers.
Yeah.
People left, them turnovers went right back up. You know what I'm saying? He just don't, I think the mistake there was they paid Daniel Jones too soon. But you give him somebody, Trevor or Mac Jones, he's going to make it do what it do with one of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Speaking of the Steelers, Russell Wilson, should he have a leash on him? They got Russell for nothing, right? A minimum contract for a quarterback because he's still getting paid from Denver. They got Justin Fields for a bag of chips and a pack of sunflower seeds and a quarter water. Oh, and a 6th-round pick. He's coming in. You know, I feel like when we talk about Russ, I like Russ. I think Russ is a player that if mentally he's not good, his performance will struggle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's not like I don't see him like a Brady or Peyton or even Eli, for that matter, that can overcome certain things and still get the job done. I think that the Denver debacle was what it was. Sean Payton came in. He wasn't Sean's guy. You know, new owners. I'm getting rid of him, and we're gonna move on. Do you feel that Russell Wilson should have a leash on him in the Steelers, James?
No. Like we talked about it last year, right? Even with all that crazy shit going on, he was number 12, I think, in QB rating. Like, dude wasn't no slouch. It was just what they had going on overshadowed his performance. And it wasn't that he was having a great year, but he was still maintaining some type of, consistency, even with that crazy shit they had going on. So I don't think he should have a leash, but I think he still can learn from what happened, where he was, weak at or not being great at. And with a coach like Tomlin, I think he'll be good, man. I don't think he should have a leash, though. This is a guy who at one point was like, bro, this dude was like, he was the face of the NFL at one point, bro. Like, dude was a monster. And, I don't think he should have a leash. I think, obviously, as you get older and you're not as great as you used to be, there's some things you use that are not physical. You got to use the brain a little bit more. I think, Tomlin will bring that out of him. I'm curious to see how good he can be with Pittsburgh, man. But I don't think you put him on a leash, because coming off that year and then putting somebody on a leash, I think that'll destroy his everything, his confidence, everything. So, and I think he's one of them type of guys that needs his confidence to be great to thrive. So I don't think you put him on a leash.
I agree. Confidence, I think his confidence, that's why I said mentally he needs to be in a good spot. He's a good guy. He's the type of guy, I'm not going to be confrontational. Let's pray together. No, nothing wrong with that, but, he's not. He's been criticized for not being that alpha quarterback.
Right.
So, Pete, leash or no leash? And if no leash, why? If leash, why? But better yet, if they go 10-7, is that a bad season for us?
It's not a bad season. I don't think it is. I don't think it's a bad season. 10-7 is still, and in that division, 10-7 is good. They may be third place with 10-7. You never know because I think they kind of like those teams will be kind of knocking each other out every time they play each other. You got the Browns against the Bengals, the Steelers against the Ravens. They're gonna be canceling each other out. As far as him needing a lead, being on the leash, I don't think you can go in saying, yeah, he's on he's on a short leash. But I think it's obvious to everybody who's looking at it that he most likely is because they got options. They got someone who started in the league for 4 years. They got Justin Fields right there. And Justin Fields has said, I'm not here to be the backup. He's going to compete. So we can't just go and say, yeah, he should be on the leash, or someone's going to say, yeah, he's on a short leash. But I think it's obvious from everybody who's looking at the situation, like, yo, he lets up a little bit, and Justin Fields plays well, but he shows out in practice, whatever, mini camp, training camp. If they see that he's got enough, he may be on that leash. But again, it's not for us to no one's going to come out and just say that he's on the short leash. He's a veteran, like you guys said. He's been in the league. He's played well in the league. But I think, is he on the leash? No. But has he got somebody looking over his shoulder? Yeah.
Hey, my bad. One thing to add, my bad. So, and with a guy like Russ, right? Let's say Justin Fields does come out outperform and they kind of start him, right? I think Russ is still one of those guys that we talked about before. He's a veteran in that locker room that can still lead without being the guy. He can still, teach those guys something about professionalism, how to react in the media. Like, he still got some use. And like you said, they got him for nothing. So it's still a win. Even if they experiment and he's not great, guess what? I still got a solid veteran who is at one point MVP caliber player that can still teach my guys something. And I think that's like we kind of seen it with Bledsoe and Brady, where Bledsoe get hurt, he's on the sideline and he realized this kid is great, but I still can give him some value, some behind the scenes, teaching. And look what Brady turned into, the GOAT, literally.
Yeah, I mean, Bledsoe was butthurt too, bro. Like the dude, he tells him when his jokes, and he's like, "I'm over it." He's not really over it. That's because he never got started again. But no, I do think Russ could provide that. Listen, I just don't see their schedule. That second half of that schedule is not for Justin Fields to come in and start.
Right.
That's just my opinion. The guys are 10-28 now. Granted, he didn't have an offensive line. He didn't have certain weapons in Chicago. They didn't do right by him, not like they did for Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams walking in there with everything under the sun, and I think a good offensive line. So it's for him to take, right? But I don't know, man. You're facing the I think the Bengals, the Browns twice, the Eagles, and somebody else. Them last 8 games. It's not for the weak heart. You know what I'm saying? It's not for a quarterback.
That's right.
That's like 10-28. I think that's if you don't sit Russell by the bye week going into the second half of the season, you can't start. If you do that, Mike Tomlin will face his first losing season. He'll face his first losing season. Their schedule, you looking it up, Pete, right now?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
bad, yo.
Who they got? The last games.
I'll tell you, so because we don't know after the bye week, they got the Commanders.
Okay.
They're going into Washington. They got the Commanders. This is where this shit gets crazy. against Baltimore, at Cleveland, at Cincinnati, against the Browns, at Philly, at Baltimore, against Kansas City, against Cincinnati.
So they got Cincinnati twice and Baltimore twice after the bye. Good God.
You know what? Let me clear that up right there. Just your question right there. All the division games are after the bye.
Yep. So out of 8 games, 6 of them are divisional games. That if that team does not lock it down, that's their way of out. So but all 4 teams got something to play for at that time. But we're looking at who's under center and what team. We're saying Lamar should come out swinging with Derrick Henry. They added a piece that we think is going to be good for them and get them over there, right? Get them over the hump. Something they didn't have last year. You get Burrow back. We don't know what he's going to look like after this injury, but we're assuming he's going to be good to go. Burrow healthy is scary. The Browns, that's the only question mark because we don't know what kind of Deshaun Watson is. He going to get better than what he was last year before he got injured, or is he still going to be the same bum? And do you bring Flacco back to try to get you to the postseason?
Same bum.
Yeah. So but the thing is, you gotta now. That's crazy, bro. So do you want a Justin Fields who's inaccurate, who's better at running the ball, taking on the gauntlet of the AFC North, which a lot of people think is the best division in football?
I play devil's advocate. Let's say Russell Wilson is hurt. They got no choice but to play him. It's not a question of, do they want to put him against these teams? They may have to. But they have the option. They have, listen, Justin Fields, again, there's teams who probably want Justin Fields.
Yeah.
You never know. Better than what they got right now.
Oh yeah. Well, let's say he has a great season. And you got him for the low. What you gonna do? What you gonna do after that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot there with this team, and we're not gonna know what it's gonna look like until we get on the field. And I don't even care about preseason because you're not really gonna see nothing during preseason. Those people that's fighting for that spot on that 53-man roster, that's who's gonna be playing. The starters, the season. If you got Russell out there trying to fight for a contract with 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl ring, I think he got a Super Bowl. No, he didn't get Super Bowl MVP. That was somebody else. The fact that he got a ring, and you got him out there, no, that'd be so disrespectful. If I was Russell, I'd just give me my little check and I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I want to see what that week 1. I want to see by week 4 or 5. That first month go by.
Yeah.
Get into October, what these teams looking like.
Yeah.
Saying because it could work in his favor that all the hard games are after the bye. So I have the first, whatever 7 weeks to 8 weeks to hone in and get the team going before I go into these before I get, punched in the face and get into a heavyweight fight. So Aaron Rodgers, man, to switch over, was not at minicamp. He didn't go to OTAs. This is mandatory minicamp. So all the other quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes with 3 rings, everybody else is at training. But Aaron Rodgers said, I got things to do, bro. I got a prior engagement. James, is it an issue? Do you think it's an issue, or do you have an issue with it? Let's just go there.
Without knowing all the details, I got an issue. Now, if that's something internally that they, that they worked out and it was an agreement, that's cool because things happen in life. We don't know. It could be personal. They don't really discuss all the details. But if it's just like some casual, like, nah, I'm good. Because you're setting the tempo for the team, man. You're coming back off an injury. These guys look up to you. You're a veteran. What's that saying to them, man? Like, hey, I'm not taking this shit serious. Or they could be taking like this dude at the end of his career. He getting the bag. He don't care really if he win, lose, or draw. I got an issue with it unless that's something that the front office and him worked out based on something that he has going on. And we can understand. Life happens, right? But if it's something that's just like he on some, I got an issue with that, bro. You the quarterback.
So it's unexcused because Saleh even said, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So if you come out and say that, I got an issue. That's trash. You don't do that. You didn't talk to nobody. That's issues already before the season starts. It's unexcused. You're not communicating what the issue is enough for us to be like, we understand. Yeah, that's stupid, bro.
Pete?
Do I have a problem with it? Yes, because this is your practice. You didn't play last year. You played 4 snaps last year.
Yep.
And now you guys are favored. You guys are favorites because of your defense. You got Breece Hall, you got Garrett Wilson. You picked up a receiver in the draft. Yeah, you guys, there's a lot of promise for them. And like you said, they said it's unexcused. They know about it, but they expected him there. But it's Aaron Rodgers, and because he's talked about a lot of weird shit the last year and a half, going on Pat McAfee, talking about vaccines and wanting to run for vice president, that's why everybody cares about this shit right now. if he comes out and lights it up, nobody gives a shit about that he missed minicamp. It is mandatory, so that's, again, you got to look at how the perception is with the younger players. Like, damn, I'm here sweating my ass off, running around in this helmet, and this dude is on vacation somewhere. And I don't want to hear that, oh, it was pre-planned. They didn't know when the mini camp was going to start. Bro, you got money, like, you got life-changing money. You're going to tell me you have to plan so you don't, because you want to save money? Like, you should be able to pick up and go whenever you want, not plan this shit 6 months in advance because you're trying to save some bread. So, but to answer your question, I do have a problem with it. Yeah, because you're quarterback. That's your leader.
See, I have a problem with it, and here's why. You're not fucking Patrick Mahomes, bro. You haven't won a Super Bowl since I can't remember the last time, since 2012, I think. That's the last time you won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think
it was your only Super Bowl appearance. You've been to multiple NFC championships and lost them. You went to the playoffs and lost. Your actual record in the playoffs is 11-10. 11-10. And the reason I know that's because they compared him to Eli. Eli's 8-4. So you have a winning record in the postseason by one game. If it was, 10-10 or whatever, you're 500. If it's 10-11, you lost. Last year, you played, 4 snaps, you was out. They brought new linemen in to help you out. You're not there to help them to help practice. But here you got Mahomes, who's been to 4 Super Bowls in the last 5-6 years, won 3. It's basically the Chiefs are the new Patriots, and he's the new Brady. He's out there getting the mail at the Super Bowl. And he doesn't matter what Super Bowl's at, he's going to get his mail there because they're counting on him being there. And you're sitting here, and if he can go, and he just won a Super Bowl with, at one point, they had the most drops in the league. They were the number one in drops, number one in offensive calls, holding calls, but they go in the Super Bowl and they catch everything and nobody gets called for one. So, but you're not there. You're not there. And then, like you said, you could plan. Okay, it's not, you could plan. When you go on vacation, it's not just you. It's you, your whole crew, everybody goes. You're not close with your family, so it's not like you taking your parents and your sister. You push them away. You know what I'm saying? So, but going back to your point, Pete, if you planning, you should know that come these dates already set in stone. This ain't some shit where they just, by the way, we're gonna have mandatory minicamp next week. And you just found out last week and you had this shit booked 6 months in advance. Nah, you know it. It's a pre-planned thing in your schedule. It's already there. You should know, okay, mandatory. I think if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, like he says, it's Super Bowl bust. We have the team to win a Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. The one Lombardi trophy looking by itself, looking lonely. Then it starts with you showing up to the mandatory stuff. And I don't want to hear, last year he was there, or he's been there when he's not supposed to be there. I don't care. You've been criticized for not being a leader in the locker room, for being selfish, being not being a servant leader, not putting time. Because we all can agree that his last year in Green Bay, if he would have put time in the offseason with them wide receivers, they probably would in a better spot instead of waiting until later in the season when they finally started clicking. And all the issues they had in the beginning of the season was timing, route running, which you fix when mandatory minicamps, OTAs, preseason, training camp in August. So I think that's why my issue is with it, man. And I think that he gets a pass because of the 5 NFL MVPs, but he shouldn't, because it's not what you've done, is what you've done for me lately. If we're criticizing Russell Wilson because he's not performing like he should, if we talk about Josh Allen because his numbers aren't the same way as they used to, or we talk about any other quarterback that we hold in high regard up there and we call him out, then why we can't? He hasn't had a 300-yard passing game in 2 seasons, I think. But you're a 5-time NFL MVP and a 1-time Super Bowl winner. Or 4-time. He's 4-time. Peyton's 5. So you're a 4-time NFL MVP. You're back-to-back NFL MVP, I think, winner. And you know what I'm saying? So, I have an issue with it. And I think the Jets are catering too much to him.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Definitely. Facts.
I think they're giving him too much. And I think that's solid showing that he doesn't have control of his team in the locker room, or he's not taking ownership as the head coach and allowing the general manager to do what he wants. Because at the end of the day, you're a defensive-minded head coach. You have the defense there. Your defense been good. It's just at the end of the day, am I going to keep killing myself when we're not even going to win? When I got another year to play. They got enough problems with Hassan Riddick not even showing up. And they just got him from the Eagles. And now you got your quarterback ain't even showing up. And unexcused. I just think it's ridiculous, man. I think
he had a whole season that he could have did all that shit he wanted to do right now. He missed the whole season, dog. Like he could have did all that shit and then be like, you know what? I'm gonna do all this, and then next season, let whoever know I'm locking in. Like, yeah, nah.
If we about our business, bro, and this is life. Even if you like, let's say you trying to, you know you retiring in a year,
and
you know you want to clear some of your debt up in that year. So you and the wife sit down and say, hey, for the next year, we're not spending no money we don't need to spend, and I'm gonna take all that money that I'm spending on Jordans, on KDs, all this other shit. You want to get in your head, buying all the other shit. We're gonna put it to these bills.
That's right.
But in that year, we're gonna pay that off. The only thing we're gonna have is the house and the Cardinals, and we good.
Yeah, you know?
That's a sacrifice. You show up for that. Pete, if he want to get back in the gym and get swole or more swole, he got to make the sacrifice, right? You gotta get there. There's certain things when you lock in, you lock in.
And lock in, dog.
If
he ain't locked in,
nah, he not.
He's showing that he's all about himself, bro. He's done nothing to show. He's done nothing to show, whether it be media, whether it be through his actions, that he's about winning with this team. He has not shown that at all.
That dude, he's all about himself, and that's what he's shown, man. Going from there, two more topics, and we're gonna be good. One is I put Kamala. I can see why you say Kamala. I don't know what it ought to correct it to her, but Kamara wants a new contract and left camp early. So I'm gonna go with Pete first. Pete, you paying him or not, bro? We giving him the bag, or we gonna make him wait?
Not that he's not good, because he's one of my favorite players right now in the NFL is Kamara. He's really good, but I know he saw McCaffrey got paid or got extended. Kamara was the second highest paid running back after McCaffrey, and that's what Barkley was kind of looking for too, to get into that into that company with them two. But of course, Barkley didn't get it from the Giants. He not settled, but he turned down the same deal from the Giants that he ended up getting from the Eagles 2 years later. Kamara is on a team that's always over the cap. If you pay attention to that shit, every offseason, the Saints are over the cap. That's because they pushed a lot of that shit back. It's like credit card bills. They kept pushing that shit back, and it's always coming back to get them. Kamara's not going to get paid again. I'd be shocked, but I don't think he's getting paid by the Saints, because the Saints got bigger needs than running back. It's like the Giants. When I say with the Giants, the Saquon was a luxury for the Giants. That's why they didn't sign him. They had other shit they had to address. I think the Saints are in the same boat. Kamara's good, but they're not going to give him what McCaffrey got, or even anything close.
James?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get I think he's more so being a sacrificial lamb right now, because we talked about it before. Running backs aren't getting paid like they used to. Like, they're not the focal point of the money now. But yeah, he's not. I don't think he's gonna get. He's like walking out. Like I said, even when we just talked about a lot of this stuff gets out, and I know we can't help it, but bro, who's guiding these guys, bro? Where this the value of an agent and like somebody who's realistic in your corner, man. Like, hey, listen, you're not, like, compare McCaffrey and him. Like, think about this, man. You're not in the position where you can walk out and say, because what if they say, okay, well, we ain't giving you shit then? Now you got to go beg, and everybody knows that you just walked away from whatever. They're going to give you the low, like, well, you take this, or so now you're kind of sacrificing yourself in a bad way to where, so you might have to take what you didn't want to take ever. So I don't get why he did that. Yeah, he ain't gonna get shit. I mean, not giving him that money.
Kamara healthy, AK healthy, is probably up there 1 and 1A and 1B with Christian McCaffrey. Healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a versatile back. He can catch out the backfield. He could run the ball. The dude is a beast. You're right. I like him. I do. You haven't been healthy. You haven't been available. The best ability is availability. Christian McCaffrey, when he left the Panthers and went over to the 49ers, he's been available the whole time. He just played in a Super Bowl, played in 2 NFC championships. Like, the guy's getting paid because we talked about this before. What he brings to the table, he's not your normal running back. He could run routes. He can catch the ball. He can block. He could run the ball. He goes well with that system, his needs and analysis. Okay, him and Debo together, we can use that. We could probably lose Ayuk, but we keep those two together, and I'm winning. Kamara hasn't been at work, bro. He hasn't been there. He's been injured. And then they haven't been doing great. So me personally, if I was him, I would want out.
Yeah, that probably has something to do with it as well. Like, probably says, maybe somebody will come and pick me up the same way they picked up McCaffrey, because on a winning team, a lot of these guys will sit out. If the situation isn't good, these guys are gonna say, I'm not playing this week. I'm not gonna break my ass for these guys. And when we get blown out by 20, I think I'll sit out. But look at McCaffrey, like you said, with the 49ers, he's playing through shit that he probably wouldn't play through before. So different situation. I think we see better Kamara playing through some of those injuries that he probably would normally sit out with the Saints, because the Saints ain't gonna do shit this week.
Nah, and that's what I'm saying. I vow him. I would want out. Send me to the Ravens. I'll back up Henry.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a 1-2 punch like they had when they had what's my man that the other running back they had oh man, that he used to have that phrase he would say. Oh Jesus, man, I can't think of his name.
Big trust.
Yeah, trust.
Oh, Ingram.
Yeah, when they had that combo going, that was a nice combo. You know what I'm saying? Because it was that you get that 1-2 punch. Hell, he can go to the Chargers and be great up there with that kind of offense. Even they don't need him in Miami. They got enough. They got good stuff in Miami as far as running backs go. But shit, you send him to the damn Giants, bro. That's a help. You know what I'm saying?
He's just as good as McCaffrey as far as running routes, coming out the back. Right. He's just as good as him, but of course,
when he's healthy,
the best in the league. Yeah, when he's healthy.
When he's healthy for sure. And I think he's taller than McCaffrey.
Yeah, he looks bigger than McCaffrey as far as frame wise, but
that dude.
But like they say, man, glorifying yesterday's achievements takes you away from today's hunger. Like, you gotta stay hungry, man.
That's
you
true.
Keep talking about what I did. Like you said, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
You can't keep bragging about what you did 5 years ago.
Nah, you really can't. I mean, look, he's a good guy. I like I said, I would jump ship from the Saints. And I like the Saints, but the Saints ain't been the same since Breeze left and then Peyton left, and they're trying to bounce back and get it back together in a division that's wide open in a sense because the NFC South is open. The last topic I had was the Falcons got found guilty for tampering. Remember, we didn't really touch it when it came out, but now they actually got found guilty. Eagles were found innocent of it. How do you feel about the whole tampering? Go ahead, James.
That stuff I don't give a damn about. Like you said, like that stuff that the organization and the NFL can keep. We know this shit's happening. Like, I think it's a CYA thing when they come out with this shit. Like, oh yeah, fined $50,000. This motherfucker got fined $250. But we don't really care, man. Tampering is happening. If you don't think it's happening, whether people get caught or not, but to be honest, it's not an aspect of the game that we really give a damn about, because I don't give a damn.
Yeah. What about you?
It's hypocritical because they have what they call the legal tampering period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
what the fuck?
So then you're gonna go and bang this team because they reached out to Kirk Cousins, or he was rehabbing at their facility, some shit like that. Like, you can't have that right before free agency begins and then hit these dudes for tampering. It's stupid. It's stupid. And I mean, it's a 5th round pick what they're giving up, but Puka Nacua was the 5th round pick. So you can't take draft picks lightly. And again, I think they look stupid because it's hypocritical.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid as hell, man. To be honest with you, I talked about it in the play call, and they hit me with the rules of the rules. And I'm like, well, I think it's a stupid rule. Look, I feel, let's say we're 3 owners. You know, he owns the Giants, you got the Ravens, I got the Patriots. We're sitting out smoking cigars, having a drink, and I look at both of y'all and I said, listen, James, I'm coming after Lamar before the fucking season end. I'm doing it. And guess what? I'm coming after your best player. And I'm going to offer them this amount of money. I'm just giving you the heads up because I don't want to be behind your back doing it. That's tampering, bro, in a sense, right? But I'm giving you the heads up.
It is.
But I'm giving you the heads up. I'm telling you to your face, look, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So now you get to match it, or you can just back out now and let me get it. You know? They all do it, bro. You know, me and June talked about this on play call. We all hang out. We got to chat, right? These athletes hang out. They hang out with each other. Yeah, on the field, they might talk shit, but all in the offseason, they taking trips together, like in basketball. Kyrie, all these dudes hang out together. You think they're not talking? McVay did it with Stafford in Mexico on a resort. Hey, yo, man, it'd be dope if we linked up together down in Baltimore. Nah, yo, I can get shot, all of us in the Giants, and get paid. Word? Like, yeah, I even take the pay cut.
Yeah.
And me and James say, yeah, we'll come. Here go Pete. Hey, I was just with these motherfuckers in Cabo, and they said they'll come if the price is right. I'll take the pay hit. That's tampering, bro.
It is. It happens every fucking season.
Going back to what you said, Frank, as far as I'm going to let you know, the team that they just spent their last year with gets an advantage by saying, okay, after this date, that's when everybody can contact them. But before that, this team gets an advantage because that's who he just played. That's who they just played for. That's why I get the tampering shit. And it's stupid to say, well, yeah, you can legally tamper now. It's stupid, but I get why they do it. It just doesn't make any sense when they try to punish somebody for it.
Right. And even with that, that's just because it's known, right? Like you said, how many conversations happen that nobody fucking knows about? So you can say legal tampering, but these guys are talking, bro. Motherfuckers is like how it gets to that point where as though you find out or you're mad, like that shit is crazy. These dudes talking.
Hey, look, before we go, because we can all agree that the tampering rule is fucking stupid, right? The dumbest shit ever. And now you're gonna take a 5th round. And they took, I think, $250,000 from the team and 50,000.
250, yep.
Like, look, whatever. You know what's funny is, and I like talking football, and I like you guys because you guys are actually not homers and talk. You had Shady McCoy talk about the deflating of balls. Jason Kelsey came out and said, I think it's a good idea. All these players knows what's up. But when it was getting investigated, everybody want to act holier than thou, right? The same thing with Spygate. They all know what's up. Madden said it. We've been doing that for years. They just got... Everybody does something to get the edge. It just, when it comes out, everybody acts like, oh, I've never done it. It's like motherfuckers that cheat, right? And then in the command, James, let's go there. The fraternization, straight up, right? You get a motherfucking khaki, a cheat, they get called for fraternization. Yo, you's a fucking dirtbag. You blah, 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 blah. When we walk out of DRB or we walk in a mess, we're like, yo, he got caught. Let me delete these messages because it's
a fact.
Yeah, I had the little E3 from Supply. You know, like, it happens. And these teams act like, oh, no, I didn't do it. But anyway, I'm going to show this picture because it's a good comparison. And Pete put in the chat, look, first 48 starts. Not that much different, bro. Damn near identical. Damn near identical. You know what the difference is? Sunshine came in with a name. Daniel Jones didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sunshine's winning. Danny Dimes ain't. And that's the difference. That's the difference. It's the same thing with Russell last year. Russell's numbers with Patrick Mahomes up until a certain point were kind of identical. I think Russell had better numbers. But because they weren't winning, nobody was talking about it. There you go. But he got the bag.
And I think when we think about football, right, and we say wins and losses, right, we put the emphasis on the stars. But think about it. It's two sides to the fucking football. It's a offense and defense. So when we say a player or a quarterback has a losing season, we got to look deeper. Like, okay, Motherfucker played his ass off. Ain't nothing you can do on the other side of the ball when he lose.
Yo, Jay Herbo scoring 35 points a game.
Exactly.
And I'm 36. That's what I was saying about Trevor in one of the podcasts. I said, yo, they got one playoff win because that's what it was. Joy Taylor said he got a playoff win, so he should get paid max contract. Whatever. Bro, they came back. June was at the game. They came back to beat the Chargers, who couldn't beat a Pop Warner team. They couldn't stop a league of paraplegics from scoring. That defense was horrible.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how the Texans, C.J. Stroud, with Nico Collins, and who's the other wide receiver before they got Diggs? Nico Collins, and there was one more person. I can't think of his name now.
Tank Dell.
But Tank Dell got hurt, right? Goes into the playoffs, his rookie season, with a rookie head coach, and took over the division hell, I had them going to the AFC Championship. I had Trevor Lawrence winning the fucking MVP this past year, I should say. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. It's crazy how we do it in this thing. But anyway, I ain't got nothing else. If y'all got a topic y'all want to throw out real quick, but if not, we can move it on. You got something, James?
No, I just want, just to your last point, man, both sides of the ball matter, bro. We won a fucking Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, dog.
Facts.
Yes. We won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, man.
When y'all only allowed, I think, 21 points the whole offseason. The whole postseason.
You see what I'm saying?
21 points combined total by that defense allowed. That's crazy.
But Trent Dilfer got it. Trent Dilfer got his ring, got his fucking money.
Out there in the center throwing the ball and would have won a Super Bowl, bro. You would have been right now. And when I introduced you, been Pete Super Bowl champ. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, I could have did it, and I can't even throw a ball.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, I'm gonna go around the room before I close it out. Pete, you got any closing remarks you want to put out, man?
Good to have a conversation, even though not really much. It's the off season, but it's still good to have a conversation. James, good to see you. Good to see everything. Hope everything's good. But
no doubt, bro.
Yeah, James, what you got, man?
Hey, man, glad to be back. I feel like, look, I done missed a couple weeks, but like we say, life happens. The Navy always got me tied down with duty, but it's good to hop on and talk some shit and talk some sports with the homies, man.
Yeah. But look, man, another episode, like Pete said, man, not a lot going on. We luckily that some stuff just hit the fan today right before we was getting ready to record and talk. If not, we would have talked about old games and stuff like that. I wanted to close it out with something that Brady said in his Hall of Fame induction for the Patriots. And I want to quote it correctly. I don't want to do it injustice by not reading it correctly. But he said, to be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. And I think that in society, that's what's missing a lot of times now.
Mm-hmm.
So my message to everybody out there, we going to stay consistent at this. We going to work for it, and we going to keep doing what we're doing to get Offsides podcast where it need to be. Because I believe we got the chemistry to have our own distribution platform and be up here talking shit. And then hopefully my man could retire and, be out here just talking sports. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Signing autographs and shit.
Yeah,
I'm a good looking guy, man,
And then we'll get Pooba to be our agent, bro. We'll get paid.
There you go.
Yeah, and we'll hire not June, but my cousin June as security, we give him a job or something. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Hey, sign up, turn on notifications, share, like, subscribe, follow us, man. This is Offsides Podcast. Until next week. Peace.